All right, man. So I'm excited to hang out with y'all. I checked out your two singles. To be honest, I hadn't heard of you until I saw you booked on the lineup. I'm helping out with this show. Dusty asked me to help out with sound and stuff, and I got excited when I checked out your two singles. They're really, really awesome. For me, it's kind of like everything I like about, like, I don't know, it's hard to describe it, but like post-hardcore, emo, screamo type stuff or whatever, but actually reminded me a lot of like older bands that I used to listen to back in like the early 2000s and whatnot, late 90s and whatnot. So, but that being said, I couldn't really find a lot of information about y'all. You guys definitely feel like you guys are a newer band. I don't know if you guys were in other bands or whatever, but so I figured that's kind of what I'd like to get at is kind of where you're from, yeah, whether this is all a result of other bands or is this like something new or.
Yeah. So we've been playing in bands for quite a while, and I've been playing with TJ here for quite a while as well. But we're from Stockton, and
oh, cool.
This is kind of a newer project for us. So we do have the two singles out, and there's more coming. But yeah, it's still just getting it running right now. We used to play in a band called Wrath. And
that's an awesome name.
It's been quite a while since that's happened. So
we
were kind of
no,
it was more like
it sounds like it'd be heavier.
It was heavier. It was kind of like techier, post metal-y kind of. Yeah. The band ran a course of its sound. Like it changed a lot from when it started, and that probably is how it's going to work for us too. We're always trying new shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we took some time off. We hadn't made music together in a while, and then we got together again and started making this band.
Are you guys another COVID band? You guys said you took time off. I swear, so many bands. Like I've interviewed tons of bands that like took time off, and then COVID kind of reunited them again. They kind of reignited something in them again and got them back on the road again.
Yes and no. I mean, I had a brief stint with a band called Black Passage around that time, and
cool name too, man. You guys pick good names.
I kind of just was picked up to do bass on that project, and that was around the time that COVID happened, and it kind of really just stopped everything. But I think that's really where we started to like kind of get back into jamming together. Before, TJ was the vocalist of the band, and I used to play bass. And now I play guitar, and he plays bass, and we both do vocals. So it was.
You looked like a vocalist. It was just upon talking to you, I was like, this guy's probably the vocalist. And then when you mentioned playing bass, I thought that was interesting because I've done the same. I'm a vocalist too, but I've played bass, and it's such an interesting shift in dynamics. It's just. I thought it'd be boring, and instead I was like fell in love with like just like locking in like the groove and the rhythm section of the band and stuff like that. It's a whole nother like element of being in a band that I was just kind of unaware of.
Gotcha. Well, Joseph, he also used to be in the band, our drummer, that we used to play with. But the way the band kind of happened was TJ actually started playing some drums because we needed somebody to work with, you know what I mean? And he just he could talk about it way better. He could talk about it way better than I could.
Somebody better play drums.
He was just on the revolving door. When we first started, the idea was, we were both going to play guitar, and we were going to have like a 5-piece band, and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, let's do this. And we had some things that we were messing around with, like programmed drums, and he was like, coming up with ideas for that. And then it was like, okay, well, shit, dude, you might have to play drums so we can get this shit written. And then it was like, okay, that was cool. Now you're gonna have to play bass.
The band, one of the bands you all are playing with, Bucky, is a similar situation. The drummer, you'll see him now. He's sick, Lucas, but he wants to play guitar. He's and when I met him, he was a guitar player, but he's great at drums. So he's like, he keeps getting put behind that kit because, man, good drummers are hard to find, man.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I mean, I think we were ambitious in the beginning, but we just wanted to be playing. We just wanted to keep making music, whatever style or whatever genre we landed on, we just wanted to be making music still. So we ran through not lineups, but different, he's gonna make drum parts for this, or I'm gonna make drum parts for that, or guitar or whatever. And then we just started slowly but surely just kind of piecing little parts together, and just then we came out with 5 songs.
That might explain a little bit of again, there's only 2 singles I've heard, but still you guys have a good diversity of I want to say sound, but it does sound like, you know, post-hardcore, whatever. It's more of like the feel of it. Like there's one part where you guys are doing like this like blast beat during like a quiet, clean melodic part, and I was like, dude, that just sounds so crazy to me that I don't know. There's just these little weird things that I can't quite put my finger on, but it's very interesting all throughout. Like I said, just kind of my favorite things of like I've heard in screamo or post-hardcore bands. I'm like, it keeps me listening. I'm really excited to see what you guys are working on next. But before we get to that, I do want to ask, like, where did you guys record that? You guys self-recorded? Did you go to a studio? It sounds like you went to a studio, but
Yeah, we recorded with Charles Toshio at Panda Studios.
oh, okay. So I've interviewed a few bands that Dolores is one of them, but
Oh,
I've
okay.
interviewed a few bands from San Jose area that end up at that studio. That's a legendary spot, man.
Yeah.
And whoever is doing the work there, I know, you know, you just mentioned his name. I'm sure it's been mentioned before. I think Dolores, you gave him a shout out a few times, but incredible work, man. It's just very organic sounding, but like doesn't lose any of the weight, you know, because there's that whole thing of, you know, we're in the digital age and whatnot, so we have that digital instant immediate kind of hit of trigger drums or sample replacement and the like. That gentleman does a great job of like still having the weight of like modern recordings, but it definitely has that warmth and analog feel. Yeah.
So our drummer at the time, he recorded the drums at his house, and then we tracked bass and guitar at that
Really?
studio. Yeah. So basically,
Man.
he mixed and mastered
Oh,
everything.
you did a
and we
great
just
job
recorded, yeah,
with those drums.
Oh, we did
yeah.
vocals there too.
But
Sorry.
everything sounds good there. Even and the vocals too. It's like very. It has a little bit of like depth to it, you know what I mean? It has a little bit of space to it, which, you know, vocals can be hard, but it still has that in-your-face tone, which it's a hard balance to strike, you know, right?
Yeah.
You know, kind of.
I mean,
having that punk in-your-face sound, but at the same time, it still feels like I'm in a room with y'all.
Yeah, I think that's what we wanted to, like, aside from like being like, you know, cool music or whatever, but we wanted the vocals to be like one of the main vocal points, or one like the lyrics and the vocals to be like a mainstay of it.
Well, you did a great job of being slightly restrained, because the genre does call for a little bit of like depth to the vocals, you know what I mean? Where it's not like I'm in a deathcore band, so it's like stabbing you in the ear, you know what I mean? It sounds enormous. This genre definitely calls for something like I said, like you want to feel like you're in the room with them, and yeah, you guys definitely did a great job of kind of holding back just a little bit, you know what I mean? It's buried ever so slightly to kind of make it gel with everything else. So.
Yeah, that part of it was kind of it's definitely a balancing act, because you know, we went back and forth a couple times of like,
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like it needs to be a little more spacious than that, and then it was like, that's a little too spacious, you know,
Yeah,
it's not like in your
Yeah.
face enough, and so that was a kind of a back and forth thing on that one, but you know, it had to be just right.
It settled in. Yeah, you got it in a good spot.
Because we used to do a lot of deathcore stuff like way back in the day too,
Oh,
and
shit.
like
Okay.
you know, it's a way different approach, and
It is.
even our last band was still very like guitar centric, you know what I mean? And this time around we wanted to be vocally and lyrically centered as far as really conveying what we were trying to get across with each of the songs. So it's less, not that we didn't pay attention to the instruments or anything, but it was just way more about serving the song the way that we were seeing the lyrics doing that. Because I mean, before we weren't even thinking about like, oh, we're gonna have to play these parts and do the vocals at the same time. And it was way different than anything we did before. It was always like we wrote the song, we did it, and then okay, someone has lyrics, and then you just put it over the song and you go for it that way. And this way was which I really enjoyed. It was very collaborative between me and TJ, because we were both writing lyrics, we were both bringing stuff to the table. We also had to kind of write the parts to the parts that we play, which
How
is
did it
way
feel,
different than what we've done
collaborating
before.
on lyrics. So me as a vocalist, I have such a hard time letting the reins loose on vocals, because they're so personal for me, you know, lyrics especially, you know. They're all always, even as no matter how abstract they are, they're always drawn from personal experience. So it always feels intrusive when someone's like, oh, I don't mind, you know, adding a line here and there, and I'm just like, or you could just do your instrument, you know, like. So it's. I think it's interesting to hear when people actually are able to. Yeah,
Sorry.
they can tap me in the face too.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to be subtle about it, like I'm just, you know, adjusting my.
But I can't help it.
hairline,
Sorry, keep going.
I mean, we are really, and we've worked together for, you know, a long time now. So I think it's a little more natural for us to do that. You know, if it was someone that I just met for this band and we got into it, I mean, that would be a way different scenario for me.
Instead, it's a brother
anyway,
you've been
because-
jamming with for.
Right, yeah.
and-
I think most of our
Interesting.
experiences have been pretty much not exactly the same, but like at least the themes on the record are like our experiences are.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. So do you feel like since you were able to collaborate together, like this is kind of like a collected experience, like you were able to kind of represent both of what you kind of wanted to get across?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. It was, at least I don't know if I just speak for myself, but it was the most collaborative project I've ever been a part of, and it was obviously like we're such good friends that it just worked very easily. You know, he's seen me at my highest and lowest. It's not like he knows how personal, you know, the lyrics are. I know how personal his lyrics are.
He was there with you when you were experiencing that thing you guys are writing about. Yeah, that's amazing.
So and I get exactly what you're saying though, because there's been times in other projects or other things where it's like, you know, if you just change this line, dude, and it's like, oh, don't say that, because that guy does not want his shit to be fucked with.
Right, exactly.
But and it helped too that we were like just writing to write. Like we weren't like before with Wrath, we were like on a label and like, oh yeah, we need to write this next record, or we need to like have this X, Y, and Z like done by this time. This time around, it was just like, we had, you know, a bunch of just, you know, random riffs or just songs or like lyrics or whatever. We kind of just. We were able to jam out on it or like play them until we both were like, we like that, or like, that's the one.
There's a purity to that, though. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having, you know, deadlines to meet or whatever. But, but writing.
It made it more
for the passion of it is
right. It's made it more organic. It made it more less stressful. I mean, not to say that it wasn't stressful, but yeah, it felt more naturally that way.
I feel like the transitions end up being more natural that way. It explains why you're able to slip so many kind of subgenres into one band, because it has to feel effortless. I mean, if it feels like you're just like, well, what if we had a black metal part right here? You know what I mean? And you can always tell when somebody just like cut and pasted something that they thought would be interesting, but you can usually tell when the influences are organic and kind of just, you know, out of love, I want something like this because I can't stop listening to it, you know?
Right, exactly.
And that I think for the projects that we've worked with too, it's always been kind of a weird subject. I'm trying to like figure out like, oh, so what exactly, like what genre, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that we do?
Yeah.
But I would say that, we can't really hide our influences too well.
Yeah, but it's always been a battle with us saying like, oh, what kind of band are you guys? We're just like, we're a band, you know? It's kind of hard to say like, oh, we're like, you know, but it's easier to say our influences rather than like, oh, we're this type of band or we're this style.
All that stuff that you listed, like definitely, you know, big parts of our influences and stuff. Yeah. So it's almost, I mean, it's just our version of our own influences, I guess. It's always such a tough conversation for us to be like, how do I say this?
Your mind always goes
because then even when you do like just settle on like, oh, we're this kind of band, we're like, and then you start thinking we're kind of not like that.
Yeah, that's
you know, we're not that style.
Yeah.
And then that sucks. So.
And you know the name and the names of genres, you know, how defined they are changes so much over time too, especially like.
I love to see
a lot of the core and
I'll hang out on Reddit sometimes and see people like just kind of keep cutting things into smaller and smaller slices, and I'm like, God damn, I think you're missing the point, but you know, fine, it's fun to watch and come up with a new micro genre name, you know. So
I'll just let you figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are like this band, okay? Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah. Unless it's like way left field, but like other than that, like cool. Yeah, I'll say that.
I've stopped being weirded out by that because I've started recognizing that that's just the closest association they could think of.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's fine.
For sure.
So it might be something completely like out of nowhere to you, but it's like, well, that's the closest thing they've ever heard that sounds like you, you know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily mean you sound like it, because there was a few times where I've gotten like, oh, you guys sound just like, and I'm like, huh, you heard that? You know? So
or the funniest one is like even people from my work or whatever, like, oh, like you guys like Slipknot, or you guys sound like Slipknot, huh? Like, sure, dude, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. If that's the heaviest thing they've ever heard.
If that's what it sounds like to you, then cool. But yeah, whatever.
You mentioned earlier an EP that's in the works. So, and that's I'm really curious to know what you all are working on next. Was that a session you guys went in for those singles? Do you guys have more stuff you got coming out soon, or?
Yeah. So we recorded all 5 songs at Panda. So 2 of those singles are from that same session.
Nice.
The EP is called A Hard Line Erased. And we're working on some stuff, some video stuff. We got a short little run coming up here in October too. So we're just
Are you all on a run with Name right now, or is that just you guys just play with them a
This
lot?
is just
those are our
yeah.
homies from
Okay.
for a long time.
I was
we
checking
did
out the flyers, and I'm like, oh, I saw their name a few times, and I
Yeah.
thought maybe you all might be like on a weekend run with them or something. But.
Yeah, so that's the one that he's talking about. In October, we are
Okay.
planning like a Weekend Warrior
Well,
thing
plug
with
that.
them.
What are you guys doing? Like in October, what areas are you going through?
We're going through SoCal and
Okay.
back up. Yeah, it's actually a few things are getting confirmed like as of today and stuff like that. But
okay.
But yeah, it should be a little 4 or 5 day run.
Sick. Well, that's good because I kind of want to interview Name too. So maybe I'll be able to catch you all on one of those dates and sit down with them for a little bit too. So
Cool.
And obviously, with the record, we're trying to put it like on vinyl too. So that's like kind of in the works. So we're still trying to figure the logistics of that. As
I
well.
love. I mean, I feel like it's a. If life was a video game, that would be an accomplishment. Just
Yeah.
putting out something on vinyl.
That's
you know what I mean?
all-
I'd get to do that. You know, but
Ever since
it's
collecting
definitely
vinyl,
on the
that-
bucket list.
Yeah, that's all I've ever wanted to do. Just even if we don't do anything big or crazy, like as long
cassette. You know,
I
that's
mean,
one
that'd be
little
cool.
checklist, but
Yeah.
the vinyl one's a big one.
yeah,
you know?
that one's like that one's a little more closer to my heart. Yeah,
This dude's got a collection.
yeah,
He's got
Yeah,
a
yeah.
gigantic collection.
an
like,
unnecessary collection.
jealousy
Those are the
can't
best
even jealousy can't even touch it. Like this is just like awe-inspiring collection, at least for me. You know what I mean? But
It's-
I mean, I like cassettes.
It's
too,
a
but-
startup.
Did you
It's a-
see Names? Oh, I'm sure you saw it. Like, but the vinyl art Names records look gorgeous.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I those were awesome. I'm like, I have to end up with one of those, and one of them's like a double set or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but I don't know which one I'm walking away with. But I'm walking away with one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Gorgeous art.
Oh, yeah.
I've
So
heard
that-
so much about them too. I just never been able to play with them or been able to catch them. But you know, tonight
Yeah.
I will. So
So that's who we're. So Wes from Name, he runs his own label called Wolves Recordings. So that's who we're kind of trying to work with right now, as far as like getting it pressed on vinyl. But seeing like how, like I said, the logistics of all those things. So
Right.
yeah, so that's kind of what we got going on.
no, I'm excited to hear that, man. And so the songs you all are playing tonight, I'm excited I get to catch you all in a handful of minutes. Are they the new material or the material from the EP?
Yeah, it's all the 5 new songs.
Sick,
Yeah, that's
sick,
the only
sick.
ones that we really have right
I'm
now.
excited. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I'm really stoked to play it. And it's kind of meant to be played as the EP, like all the songs through.
Uh-huh.
So the way you're gonna hear it tonight is exactly
The
how
way it's
like
meant to
it's
be
gonna
heard.
be on
Hell
on
yeah.
the record and everything like that. But really stoked to play it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is awesome, man. It's been really cool talking with you all. It sounds like you guys, got a lot, coming out pretty soon. Got a weekend run coming up. Got the EP going to be dropping soon, and maybe some vinyl. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Where can people find you all, like on social media? Where's the best spot to find you? I know some people like Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Where are you most active at?
Probably Instagram, Lower Companion Band, and that's our handle on
Awesome.
Instagram. Yeah.
And I'll include that in the notes too, make it easier to kind of
Yeah.
click
Yeah.
on and whatnot. But
We're on Spotify, all the streaming. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
obviously you
Apple
can't
Music.
you can't hit someone up on those.
Right,
So, yeah.
right. But definitely encourage everyone to check out those 2 singles that are out right now. Especially it's a good way to get prepared for the EP that's going to be coming out soon. So,
Yep.
Yeah, man, and definitely encourage people to check you all out live. I can't wait to see you all live, man. I can't wait to see what else you all got up your sleeve. So it's been awesome talking with you all, and look forward to hanging out some more. So, all right, man.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.